Stroll. Yes, sir.
Ready? Yes. People walking up first their heads here. I don't get my face.
At this time, parents, friends, family, allow me to introduce to you the Mahalia Jackson graduating class of 2022. a very, very, very emotional day as our graduates matriculate into high school. At this time, can I ask our 8th grade graduates at the count of 3 to be seated? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. As we move along in our program, families, I am going to introduce to you Ms. Maricela Salgado, who is our class salutatorian for school year 2022.
Welcome, family and friends, to the graduation ceremony for the 8th grade class of 2022. My name is Maricela Salgado, and I am honored to be the salutatorian and for Mahalia Jackson graduating class of 2022. As a class, we've been through a lot, good and fun memories, as well as tough times throughout the pandemic. Even then, that didn't bring us down. We did everything we could to pass 8th grade along with each other, helping one another out. If there's one thing I learned while being here is to always be prepared for anything. Along the way, there will always be obstacles, and you have to be ready to push against them and keep going. Being prepared could be very helpful when it comes to high school. Even though it's going to be new people and new obstacles, which we have to stand tall and fight against, you can't let small things get in the way, and you have to be a better person and be open to new things. I want to say that we very much appreciate Mr. Gaines for pushing us to try new things and be open-minded to everything. I also want to thank my best friend Brandy for finding ways to make me laugh. Or smile throughout the school year. We will all miss the moments in the classroom when we would laugh and talk about the most random things. We will not miss Mr. Kabbalah telling us to sit down or be quiet. No matter how far or how separate we go from each other, I know there will always be a way to remember one another. I wish and hope that the class of 2022 grows as a better person and never let someone tell them they can't do anything, because we are capable of doing anything we put our minds to. The sky's our limit. At this time, I would like to introduce the principal of Mahalia Jackson Elementary School, Miss Tracy Redmond.
Great job, Ms. Salgado. So, parents, family, we are here. The entire year we have waited for this day. We've discussed it, we've fussed about it, we've cried about it, and I am so proud to say that the graduates have come through the storm. They made it through the COVID storm, they made it through the hybrid storm, and they made it being back in this school year full time, every day. So I am proud of them. I know that the sky is the limit for them. Leading up to this day, there's a lot of nervousness, but we just still try to instill in them that they have a village behind them that will make sure they get to that successful point in life. After 8th grade, there's high school. After high school, there's college. And after college, I expect to see all of them come back as entrepreneurs owning their own businesses. Absolutely. This is an extremely exceptional group of students. Silly at times, but very thoughtful and very determined, no matter what was thrown their way. So I just want them to know that as their principal, I am proud to be your principal. I have enjoyed every minute, from the times that we fussed, to the times that we cried, to the times that we hugged. It has been a phenomenal year. We are a little bit behind schedule, so I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to leave my graduates with this. Please, know who you are in life. Know what you want in life. And know that you deserve what you want in life. And never, ever settle for less. So at this time, the moment that I have been waiting for, our graduates have prepared a song that they would like to present to their audience. This song I am extremely proud of. I know that they are going to do a good job. Please give them your undivided attention. At the count of 3, I will ask my graduates to stand, and then they will begin their performance. Are we ready, graduates? 1, 2, 3.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. And I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place, see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you was standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh.
Press you both, go out your way. The vibe is feeling strong, it was small, turn to a friendship turn to a bond. That bond will never get broken, that love will never get lost. Every brotherhood comes first, the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own, the line had to be drawn. The line is what we be, so remember me when I'm gone.
Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home, home. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Oh.
Can we have another round of applause for them? So they actually got this song together within 1 week. So they did absolutely fabulous. And graduates, at this time, you can be seated. Oh, I'm sorry. Coming to the stage is our valedictorian. Who really needs no introduction. I will bring Miss Heaven Williams to the stage as the Mahalia Jackson class of 2022 valedictorian.
Hello, everyone, and I would like to introduce myself as Heaven Williams and the valedictorian of the 8th grade class of 2022. I would like to start off by saying how proud I am, not just of myself, but of the whole 8th grade class. Being here right now in this moment. Not just celebrating starting a new chapter in your life, but celebrating all the things you've been through in school and out. In this moment, parents shall also be celebrating, not just the scholars, but themselves. My fellow graduates, let's give our parents a standing ovation. You guys may be seated. I know moments like these are supposed to be sad. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I practically grew up with these people. Now it's time to say goodbye. But I'm actually ecstatic. Although some classmates will be missed, some of them. And bittersweet memories will stick with me forever. Like the time Mr. Mosley wore jeans. It was crazy, like a historical event or something. Anyways, I'm actually open to change. I want anyone who's feeling down at this moment to be happy. Always be open to new beginnings. If I had to use a quote to describe me again to this moment, it would be, celebrate endings, for they precede new beginnings. Jonathan Lockwood Hume. Being open to new beginnings helped me a lot through various of school years. That and persevering. It wasn't a walk in the park, but when you put your mind to it, or as Mr. Gaines would say, keep running, even if you want to stop, just keep pushing. It makes things a lot easier. I also want to add, letting things go, and don't overthink. Having people who can bring you back down to earth when you're overthinking can be very helpful. At this moment, I would like to say thank you. Thank you, Jazare. Thank you, Naila. Thank you, Ayana, Sherman, and Ariane. Thank you for being those people. Now enough with the mushy stuff, back to being serious. Stop acting silly all the time. Every middle school teacher all year long. Although it seems like yesterday, because it probably was, it is the truth. Just remember, it's a time and place for everything. But right now, it's our graduation, so it's time to turn up. Before I go, I want to thank all the middle school staff, because I know we were not the easiest class to deal with. I also want to give a special thanks to my family and extended family. And another standing ovation from everyone, for my parents who always made a way even when all the passwords were blocked off. Stand up, stand up, stand up, up. Right there, those two right there. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce my next speaker, my classmate, Keziah Young.
Good morning. My name is Keziah Young, and I am a graduate of the 8th grade class of 2022. It is my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Corey Marshall. Mr. Marshall serves as the Deputy Director of Agency Personnel and Executive Appointments in the Office of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, where part of his work includes boosting diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies. He previously served as the Chief of Staff to Cook County Commissioner Richard R. Boykin of the 1st District, the legislative public policy body of the second largest regional government in the United States with a $5.36 billion annual budget. He previously served as the District of Columbia State Director for President Barack Obama's re-election campaign, then as the Executive Director of Democratic Gain, a progressive political association with 42,000 members. Mr. Marshall graduated from Eureka College, President Ronald Reagan's alma mater, where he was elected as the first African-American homecoming king in the 150-year history of the college. The Eureka College Board of Trustees and our Omni Board named Corey as the 2013 Eureka College Outstanding Alumni of the Year. He is the recipient of Campaign and Elections magazine. His 2016 Rising Star Award, one of the political industry's most prestigious honors. Mr. Marshall is a co-founder and board chairman of Shy Gives Back Incorporated and is also a member of the Boys and Girls Club of Chicago's Young Professional Sport Directors. Mr. Marshall sits on the Loyola Hospital Chicago Gun Violence Committee and is a member of the Eureka College Board of Trustees. Mr. Marshall received his master's in public administration at Southern Illinois University Carbondale and resides right here in Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Corey Marshall.
I'll make a little noise for Keziah. Thank you, man. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Well, I have a few things to say about this graduation. First of all, that graduation song was pretty lit. I want to hear it again. Low-key. And then when I saw, is her name Jayla? Jalea. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it from the audience. Jalea came up here and kicked her shoes off. Like Aretha Franklin or somebody. I said, we got ourselves a graduation here. My name is Corey Marshall, and I'd like to congratulate you, the class of 22, on a milestone achievement, graduating from the 8th grade. To be commended. Now, I remember when I was graduating from the 8th grade because I really felt, I don't know how y'all feel, but I felt like I was grown. And I know y'all parents may feel like some of y'all feel that way anyway. And speaking of parents, I'd like to recognize the parents of the graduates. Please stand and be recognized once more. All the parents and guardians. All right. Y'all give it up for y'all parents. Make a little noise for them. And you know, for our community, I'd also like to recognize the grandparents in the audience. Okay? My grandma was at all of my graduations. She was. Grandfathers. Y'all know. And all of the family here and friends who have been supporting these young people. Thank you so much for guiding them forward as they move into their future. Because as the principal noted, it does in fact take a village. You know, it's incredible to be here today to witness this sea of Black excellence. My fiance was gonna come here with me today, but she had an emergency surgery. She's a surgeon at Rush. And so we believe in Black excellence. And I came from the same types of places that y'all come from. You know, I won't be up here too long, but what I do have to say is simple. Graduates, I encourage you to look at this as a fresh start, as a new opportunity to meet new people that will help to shape your future. In your next phase of life, The teachers don't know much about you. Folks at the new school don't know much about you. So it's an opportunity for you to create something new for yourselves. I don't know if y'all have had detentions in this school. I used to talk in class back in the day, so I used to have detentions. It's getting a little trouble sometimes. But it is truly an opportunity for you to become something that you decide you want to become today. I know we live in a different world now, one that is recently ravaged by COVID-19 and that is currently experiencing an increased level of violence from Chicago to New York to California. Unfortunately, that's the world we now live in. Most graduation speakers will use this platform as an opportunity to tell graduates well-crafted stories about how they started from the bottom, now we here. Y'all know that song? That's my song. When you guys saw me on the weekend out of the suit. Or they will tell you their 3 keys to success. You all might find that to be a little bit boring, and I highly doubt that you'll remember that in the next 10 years. Graduation speakers also like to encourage graduates to focus on things that you can do in the future, which includes the next 5, 10 to 15 years from now. And it is true that you are the future, but you are also right now. Graduates, I encourage you to focus on doing something right now that's pretty easy for you to do, and that's to give back to your community and those around you. And you know what? If you observe the Bible, we'll see one of the first lessons God taught us was about giving back. You know why? Because he gave us life. I know many people are going to tell you and encourage you to wait until you become a teacher, a firefighter, a police, a doctor, or a lawyer to have an impact. But in fact, you can have an impact right now. You can go wash those dishes when mama tell you to do it. Or clean up that bedroom. Or wake up. Or do all that homework when you enter your freshman year. I really want you to focus on doing things that can help somebody else, because as African Americans, as Americans in general, that's what we are called to do. If you do that, you will always be counted as a success because you're doing something to help other people. I live by the notion that if you become a rocket scientist and you don't help other people, then what good is that? I also subscribe to the notion that if you become a famous millionaire and you don't help others, what good is that? Fashions yourselves in the spirit of folks like Nipsey Hussle, who we lost, who was a philanthropist in California. Speaking of helping others, I partnered with some of my colleagues to create an organization that they mentioned in the biography called Chi Gives Back. We focus on giving back to our community here in Chicago and also creating volunteer opportunities for those who want to give back. Now silence those phones, family. Please. We currently, Chi Gives Back, hosts one of the largest toy drives in Chicago. We have an annual event recognizing Chicago public school teachers. Make some noise for y'all teachers. We are currently accepting nominations for our Teach to Give honors. We also provide meals every week to senior citizens and provide clothes and shoes to residents suffering from homelessness. We have formed partnership with corporations like Columbia Coats, American Express, Nike, and Target with the goal of giving back to Chicagoland residents. We created Chi Gives Back because we honestly, truly do believe in giving back. With that being said, I'd like to call Heaven Williams and Marciala Salgado to the stage. And a quick note to you, Heaven, you're in charge of the class. So when you tell them to stand up, make sure they stand up. I'm just joking. But I'd like to recognize these young ladies. Please give them a sturdy round. Can y'all stand for them? Because becoming valedictorian and salutatorian is no easy job. And we know when we look across the media in Chicago, we see all of the violence happening, and we don't see the press covering young people like this. So for your scholarship, we are very proud of you, and I'm excited to bring both of you a $250 cash scholarship to be used for classroom supplies as you prepare to enter high school. Now, because this is a cash scholarship, we hope that you do buy school supplies, but if you get your nails done or buy a new outfit before you start the school year, that's up to you. Let's give them a round of applause again. Congratulations, brother. Congrats. Y'all can take that thing, man. And I know some of the other graduates are like, did y'all forget about us? No, we didn't. For every graduate in this class, we are going to be providing $50 gift cards to each and every one of you to buy school supplies or do whatever you want to do with. Congratulations. We will work with the administrators to make sure that they get those cards, and you can pick them up from the school within the next week or two. And you know, earlier I mentioned our program. We have a program called Teach to Give, which provides up to $500 to $1,000 in classroom supplies to Chicago Public School educators. Now we know, I know the teachers can agree, educators are the gateway to our futures for our young people. They don't receive the respect and decorations that they should receive. And oftentimes when teachers decorate their classrooms, they often have to spend their own money in order to make your classrooms look great. Is that correct? So oftentimes? So we to date have honored over 230 Chicago Public School teachers, and I'm so happy to let you all know that I personally nominated, and it was approved by our board of directors, Alex Kabbalah for our class in 2022, and he will be honored and recognized this summer at the Godfrey Hotel along with other CPS teachers. Thank you, sir. And finally, as we head into the summer and into your futures, please remember to make smart choices. I can tell you so many stories from my own past experiences of when I decided to make a smart choice and when some of my other friends did not. We live in a world where a 1-minute decision can disrupt the entire flow of your future. That's hopping in the car with the wrong friend. That's just doing the wrong thing. A young man I mentor, I saw he's on my Facebook list, friend list. He just posted his new car that he purchased, but the next images he showed were guns. And I told him that is not the route for you. That is not the route for any of you. Choose to be great, because every day when you wake up, you do have the capacity to decide your future. I grew up in a low-income home with my dad gets so mad when I say this. I called him a part-time dad. You know, he gave my mom money when he wanted to, and he was there when he wanted to, and when he didn't want to be, he was not. But I did not let him or anyone else dictate where I would go. There's no such thing as the man is holding me back, or my dad wasn't there, or my mama wasn't there, or my uncle wasn't there, or my grandmother wasn't there, or my grandfather was not there. You are responsible for your futures. You are responsible for your today. Congratulations to you all, and I wish you all the best in your very bright future.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right, I'd just like to give one more round of applause for Mr. Corey Marshall. Thank you so much. And I know that all the graduates are very excited about those gifts, so we appreciate that. And again, thank you so much. At this time, it is my privilege to call the students' names, to have them come up on the stage and get their diploma. And after that, they will officially be 8th grade graduates. So, the first row may stand up. Natalia Carroll. Natalia will be attending Perspectives High School in the fall. Michaela Carter. Michaela will be attending Semyon High School in the fall. Akila Chioki. Akila will be attending Harlem High School in the fall. Nyena Cole. Nyena will be attending high school outside of Illinois in the fall. First row may be seated. In the second row, please stand. Nakia Collins. Nakia will be attending Englewood STEM High School in the fall. Melvin Deans. Melvin will be attending Brooks High School in the fall. Darius Donalds. Darius will be attending Morgan Park High School in the fall. Jaquan Evans. Jaquan will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Zamaya Griffin. Zamaya will be attending Williams in the fall. Ayana Haywood. Ayana will be attending King in the fall. Okay. All right, first row you may be seated, or second row you may be seated. Third row, please stand. Nylan Hines. Nylan will be attending St. Rita in the fall. Jalea Hughes. Jalea will be attending South Shore in the fall. Ayana Lewis. Ayana will be attending Chicago Collegiate in the fall. Tiana Love. Tiana will be attending South Shore in the fall. All right, my last rows. All right, third row, you may sit down. My last row, please stand. Tavarius Matthews. Tavarius will be attending Morgan Park in the fall. Emmanuel McCullough. Emmanuel will be attending Morgan Park in the fall, or Brooks rather, Brooks in the fall. Ariane McGee. Ariane will be attending Urban Prep in the fall. Deshaun Murrell. Deshaun will be attending Hansberry in the fall. All right, on to the second side. First row, please stand. Naila Owens. Naila will be attending Evergreen Park in the fall. Picture. Yeah. Keontae Parnell. Keontae will be attending Oak Forest in the fall. Jordan Peggs. Jordan will be attending Morgan Park in the fall. Rakaya Patterson. Rakaya will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Darion Pope. Darion will be attending Butler in the fall. First row, please be seated. Second row, please stand. Darius Rover. Darius will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Timothy Rush. Timothy will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Our salutatorian, Maricela Salgado. Maricela will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Jazzaray Smith. Jazzaray will be attending Kenwood High School in the fall. Sherman Smith. Sherman will be attending Shepherd High School in the fall. All right, second row, please be seated. Third row, please stand. Carl Taylor. Carl will be attending Semyon High School in the fall. Lavelle Triplett. Lavelle will be attending Hansberry in the fall. Brandy Ward. Brandy will be attending Perspectives High School in the fall. Congrats. Our class valedictorian, Heaven Williams. Heaven will be attending Diet High School in the fall. All right, third row, please be seated. And will my last row please stand? Sydney Whitfield. Sydney will be attending Morgan Park High School in the fall. And last, but certainly not least, Mr. Keziah Young. Keziah will be attending South Shore High School in the fall. All right, family and friends, at this time, I'm gonna ask the graduates to officially move their tassel from the right. You can stand up. Graduates, stand up. Stand up. And you may move your tassel from the right to the left.
Good morning. As we prepare to conclude our 8th grade class of 2022 graduation, I would like to take a minute to thank all of the people that helped us to get to this day. To the MJES staff, thank you for all that you have done, not just this year, but throughout all of the years that our graduates have been with us. The love and support you've poured into the students has more than prepared them for this next phase of their journey. To the families, today is the day that you all have been waiting for. As the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. And this village has truly come together to lift up and encourage our graduates. Continue to love and uplift on our graduates as they move into high school and beyond. You've done a great job, and you should be very proud of yourselves today. To the graduates, today is your special day. As you prepare for high school, know that you can always come back home to your MJES family. If there's ever a time that you have a question, need a word of encouragement, or just want to see a friendly face, we will always be here for you. You will always be in our hearts, minds, and prayers. As you leave MJES today and move on, I can't wait to see the impact you will have in this world. Congratulations, class of 2022. Continue to make us proud. Okay, parents and village, the graduates will walk out following Mr. Kabala. Then shortly thereafter, you will be able to proceed. For those families that are staying for the luncheon, you will be able to proceed across the hall. Again, the graduates are marching out with Mr. Kabala. Please give them a hand.
We pray to you as our Creator and our Father. We all love and respect you and your Son, Jesus Christ. In the name of the Lord, we bless our food. Amen.
Amen.